Hello, my name is Dr. Fred Sylvester from New Hanover Chiropractic, and welcome to this episode of Health Talk. Today we have Lisa Heverly on our show, and she is the founder of Operation Backpack, which is a nonprofit out of Pottstown. And we have her here because we want to bring some community awareness of what the nonprofit does and what our involvement in the community is. So Lisa, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So can you tell us what Operation Backpack is?
Yeah, Operation Backpack is a weekend food program for students in our local community.
Okay.
So right now we're in the Boyertown School District, Pottstown, Pottsgrove, and also Springford. And we pack into a backpack enough food to sustain that student for the weekend. So we give them dinner Friday night, breakfast, lunch, and dinner Saturday and Sunday, some snack items, water, and yeah, we pack all of that into a backpack, and then we work with the local school district to figure out which students would qualify to be in the program.
How long has it been in operation for?
Here in Pottstown, it's been in operation since the 2010-2000 school year, 2011 school year.
Almost 6 years then.
Yes.
And is there any other history, like on a national level, of Operation Backpack?
Yeah, actually, the reason why Operation Backpack got started in Pottstown was because there was an organization called True to Life Ministries, which was based in Texas, in the Houston area. And a friend of mine, it was her brother and sister-in-law that started this organization, and she knew that they were doing a program like Operation Backpack there.
Yeah.
So she called around to a couple of the schools in the Pottstown School District and asked them if a program like this would be a benefit to the students there.
Sure.
So at that point, I was working at that local school, and I became the coordinator, the person that ran the program at the school there.
And what is your current position then? So you went from coordinator to what are you now?
Yeah, so now I'm the founder and executive director of Operation Backpack. Okay. So in 2013, we were, before then, we were working with True to Life Ministries. We were under their umbrella. Yeah. And then in 2013, we actually separated and became our own entity here in Pottstown.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what are some of the statistics that, that you're aware of, like that are in the local area that, you know, needs the service that you're trying to provide?
Right. In Pottstown, I think it was 2 years ago, there was some things that were done, a survey that was done, and in Pottstown alone, it was about 70% of the students qualified for free and reduced breakfast and lunch. Okay. So that's a huge number. Like,
absolutely.
That's a little overwhelming. And also, I did some research on some of the students that are considered homeless.
Yes.
In all of those local communities that we were in. And Pottstown had about 80 students last year. Okay. Springford had, I think it was 15. Pottsgrove had about 30. And I'm unsure of the number that Boyertown was at. But,
sure.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that, what type of need do you see that's in our local community when we talk about hungry children, homeless children, you know, children who live in poverty per se?
Yeah, I know like other people, I feel that as a child you shouldn't be hungry, especially here in our local community in the United States. So yeah, the students that we are helping are homeless or considered chronically hungry. So those are the students going home on the weekend, and they would not have food that would sustain them until Monday. So a lot of the students are the ones that are receiving the free and reduced breakfast and lunches at school. You know, like these are the students that, you know, as a high schooler, they would be couch surfing. Okay. So going from, you know, friend's home to friend's home. Wow. So that backpack would become their food pantry in a sense for the weekend. You know, everything that is put into the backpack does not need to be heated up. It doesn't have to be cooked. Sure. They're all pop-top, so if the student doesn't have electricity or water or a way of doing any of those things, making the items, it's not necessary. They can eat them right out of the containers.
What is I think we were looking at this before the show started, the poverty rate in Pennsylvania?
It's about 20%.
And how do we determine that? Do you have an idea how that kind of comes to?
I think if it's a family of four, if you make $30,000 or less, you're considered in the poverty level.
So then that puts you into the category of the reduced lunch then, is
yes.
what happens? So in a lot of these cases then, a lot of these children are getting 1 or 2 meals per day, depending on what the school provides at this point. And then after the fact, then they're pretty much on their own, is that correct?
Right.
And so then the weekends become very challenging, I would have to say, for the students, and that's where you guys fill the gap by looking at. So how many backpacks and how many students did you service last year?
We served 154 students,
Okay.
and we sent home over 3,000 backpacks.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then when we broke it down a little bit further, it was 21,000 meals that we actually packed into the backpacks for a year. So that was from September till the beginning of June.
That's exceptional, and just an amazing amount of energy that has gone into it that creates a positive change into our community. What are the goals of Operation Backpack? Is it to stay where you're currently at, or do you see that there's more need that is needed to be provided out into our community? Do we need to take it from 152 students to 200 students, or what's the we'll say the future of it?
Yeah, I'm totally open to see what God does with it. I've kind of taken it step by step. You know, like if a school approaches us, we talk with them, we see, you know, how things would work in that community, whatever support can come up around, you know, that area to support Operation Backpack. In turn, we would support the students there. Sure. So I'm totally open to growing. At this point, if we look at the districts that we're in,
yes,
we are open to 23 schools.
Okay.
Now, we're not in all of those
sure,
schools in every district, just because the need is different in each building. So we really felt like this year, making sure that we can sustain the students that we have in the program and the buildings that we offer Operation Backpack to, and then just kind of seeing next year what that's
sure,
going to look like. So we're always open to talking with other districts and
sure,
and seeing logistically if we can work things out.
Do you think that, like, you're serving all the children in the, like, we'll say, for example, in the Pottstown area? If you're seeing, you know, 80 students in Pottstown, is there children you're turning away?
Yeah, we haven't turned anyone away.
Which is phenomenal.
Yeah, we really feel strongly if there's a student in need, we will do what needs to happen to make sure that they are taken care of. And like I said, every building is different. Like I was just thinking of, you know, a couple of years ago, there was a student at one of the local elementary schools, and there's a designated place in each school that
sure,
our volunteers deliver the backpacks to for the staff at the school to hand them out. And all of a sudden, one of the staff members saw this little girl grab a bag and start taking off out of the building. And then they ran after her and brought her back in because she was not in the program. That backpack didn't, you know, belong to her.
Right.
So the staff went into the principal's office, and the principal sat down with her and the little girl and just kind of started to talk a little bit about, you know, why she took the backpack and things like that. And then came to discover that her parents actually had both lost their jobs. It was about 2 weeks now that they had been struggling with no food in the home and things like that. But this little girl knew that that backpack had food in it, and she could take it home and help her family out with it.
And how old was she?
I think she was in first grade.
Wow.
She could have been a second grader.
Sure.
I think she was 8 years old, so
Right.
I don't remember the, you know,
And,
the,
you know,
the
and
grade.
to be, you know, to be that aware of a situation at 8 years old, you know, shouldn't even be on the thought of an 8-year-old.
Right.
You know, it should be about, you know, going out and playing and doing those types of things that, you know, young 8-year-olds do.
Right.
And yet she's taking the initiative to, you know, provide for her family
Yeah.
at such a young age. And then you look at, you know, the position that you have been in at this point to offer that service and that need and fill that need is just, I think, just again, very humbling and very amazing. And, you know, we're proud to have you part of our community, that is for sure. So when we're looking at everything that people can donate towards, okay, and when you look at this is a volunteer, a nonprofit. How can people help you? How can they, you know, donate to you guys? How can they get food to you guys? How does it all work for you?
Yeah, we have a food list that we base all of the items that we put into the backpacks, and that list includes like tuna to go meals and complete meals, all things that, like we had stated before, that are already made. So those items can always be donated to us. We actually are located in Pottstown.
Okay.
Our address is 238 East High Street, Suite 103. You know, they can go on our website.
Okay.
It's operationbackpack.org. And, you know, email me, of course,
Sure.
and, you know, we can see how they can get involved, either, you know, donating food. We do have volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
Those are kind of few because, amazingly, we have a lot of volunteers that are awesome and very steadfast and help us out on a weekly basis. but sometimes there are openings.
Sure.
And then financial support, of course, is huge. Especially going into the school year, food is important, and the financial support to make sure that we can sustain and take care of the students that we already have in the program.
Absolutely. And again, when you're looking at that, do you have any events, or do you have any past stories of how, like events that you've done that raise money or raise awareness?
Yeah, we
or
have.
Any upcoming ones as well?
Yeah, actually we do. We have November 10th is our big fundraiser for the year. It's a dinner, and we have a silent auction and then dinner, and we talk about everything that has gone on with Operation Backpack throughout the year.
Okay.
And this year it's at the Sunnybrook Ballroom, which
Okay.
I'm really excited about.
Sure.
We've done it at another location in Limerick, but I'm really excited to bring it back to Pottstown.
Sure.
Because Pottstown's very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
So that is our fundraiser for the year, and it's our biggest event that we have.
So typically every November you're doing something as a big fundraising event?
Yes,
type of
every
thing?
November we have the dinner.
That's excellent. So Lisa, when we think about everything that we just talked about, from taking the initiative in our community to making sure that our community is, well taken care of, our children are taken care of, what is the take-home message that you want our community to know about what you guys do, how you guys operate, and where you're going?
Yeah. For me, just another quick story
Sure.
just comes to mind, and I feel like that really wraps in the heart of Operation Backpack and what we hope to achieve. We actually had a volunteer orientation a couple weeks ago, and we have all the volunteers come out, and we introduce them to Operation Backpack. Some have been there before, some haven't.
Sure.
And we asked them, so how did you find out about Operation Backpack, and why did you want to get involved? And this mom and daughter came in a little late as we were talking. So then we just got started, and I just asked everyone to introduce themselves. And the mom says, her name, and then she introduces her daughter, and she said, a couple years ago, my daughter actually used to receive a backpack from Operation Backpack.
Wow.
And she just said that she was just really glad that and wanted her daughter to know how it works. Operation Backpack was there to help them in a time, and now they can come and to serve Operation Backpack, and in turn serve the community and other students that could really benefit and get the help from Operation Backpack.
Absolutely.
So for me, that was a giant, that was full circle of
Absolutely.
the purpose and the understanding of what Operation Backpack is about, and what we hope to communicate to the community and to the students that receive our backpack.
I think it's an amazing thing what you guys are doing and how you guys have continued to operate, your perseverance moving to the new locations, those types of things. It's really impressive when you stand from the outside and look on the inside. And so I'm proud to know you and proud to be associated with Operation Backpack as well. So
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. So again, this is Health Talk, and again, this is Operation Backpack. In our community, we all have a platform to stand upon, and we want to make sure that we're doing our best in our community to make sure that nobody is left behind. So good day and good health.